walked into the Eagle and someone called me sis. I said, I'm not a sis, I'm a sissy. Should I call you Mr. or Miss? I said, I'm actually a trans man, but before I got too tight, the place erupted into my first gender pronoun bar fight.
How are things in Los Angeles?
Great. I just found out I'm in the new Hustler magazine.
Well, there you go. And what are you doing there?
They did a photo shoot of me in my dungeon.
Fantastic. Is it out on the streets yet, or is it on?
Yes. Just came out.
All right. We'll have to check that out.
I mean, life goals, right?
Absolutely. That's fantastic. I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, jealous.
Yeah, exactly. What do you know? So can you briefly describe what it is you're doing in Hustler?
It's called Fat Mike Pride Kinky Sex.
Yeah, okay.
And it's pictures of me getting destroyed by this dominatrix named Betty Bondage.
Okay, I'm glad I asked.
She's a tough Puerto Rican gal, I'll tell you.
Okay, that's fantastic. So congratulations on a new album. Single album. It just came out, was it like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago or something like that?
Yeah, week and a half.
Yeah. So with the way things are, I mean, it's like the first NOFX album in like 5 years or so. And of course, you've chosen to put it out when you can't probably gig much or everybody's locked down. So how are you feeling about all that? It's crazy.
Well, we've never been a band that put out a new record and toured. We just kind of tour when we feel like it.
Right.
So we weren't going to wait. We're happy with the record. We put it out. And strangely enough, today was our first day of recording our new album.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So
give me a scoop. Tell me all about it.
Well, during COVID, it's just, and I got sober 4 months ago too. So I just write every day.
Right.
So I have about 30 new finished or halfway finished new songs. So, we can't play shows. I just said, hey band, let's record another album.
Yeah. Very good. Well, that's something to look forward to. I mean, the record sounds fantastic. I've enjoyed it immensely. And,
Thank you.
You mentioned that you're sober for 4 months now. I mean, let's face it, drugs and alcohol are a major part of the lyrical content of this record.
Yeah.
And is that you going through that process of dealing with where you're going to go with that, or what?
No, I mean, I'm taking a year off drugs and alcohol. Good for me.
Right.
I like being sober, but
Okay.
I recorded that last record while on painkillers, coke, and booze.
Right.
I mean, it was a daily thing.
Right.
When I'm recording, but in my normal life, a couple of days a week.
Okay. All right. I mean, the opening track, The Big Drag, I'm sorry. I wanted to talk about I Love You More Than I Hate Me, which the video is pretty bleak. There's suicide and all this stuff. I mean, there's one thing to make the song like that, to visualize it like that is pretty intense. What kind of reaction have you gotten from that? And were you worried about what kind of reaction you were going to get from that?
No, I don't worry about reactions really ever. And the song is a sad song, but it's not about killing yourself. It's just it's a tragic love story,
right?
And how someone might feel when you're that alone, after a love of your life left you,
right?
I just thought of the video idea that I've never seen a video like that. I kind of based on that movie with Bud Cort. What's that movie where the guy keeps killing himself? Martha and
we'll Google it and put it up on the screen.
Anyway, it was kind of based on that movie, that 70s movie.
Okay.
And I just wanted it to be super dark.
Yeah.
It's also a metaphor for older bands kind of dying and newer bands taking their spot and no one really noticing.
Right.
Which is cool because this album is getting such great reviews and it's getting a lot of attention. So, we're not going anywhere.
It doesn't seem like it. Do you feel like you're getting more attention than you have, say, 7, 8 years ago? Is there something
Well,
happening?
This is the best reviews we've ever gotten for a new album, besides Decline, and Decline came out in '98.
Right.
But people, they don't really. After your fifth album, no one really cares anymore. So when you're around your 14th or 15th,
Yeah.
it's really nice to get good press.
Right. Because I mean, it could be the saying that after your fourth or fifth album, the band doesn't care anymore either out in a lot of situations. So there is that as well, which kind of just adds to the decline.
We fall into that category though.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Now, one song that I definitely want to talk about is Fish in a Gun Barrel, because apparently you, from what I read, you wrote that 8 months before the whole Vegas thing happened.
Right.
And it seems very prescient. And so what prompted you to write it to begin with?
Does anyone know how crazy he was? Does anyone think he did it because he thought humans were in season? His brain had a lesion. Is it worse if he didn't have any reason?
Well, I mean, because in the U.S. you still hear of shootings every month or so.
Yeah.
So
I just more so than that.
Yeah, and I started noticing, this shooting was from a Muslim. Oh, this shooting was from some black dude. Oh, this shooting was from some white dude. It's like besides women, it's just different people for different reasons. The only common thread is, well, in the U.S. anyone can buy guns.
Right.
You might buy automatic weapons. In London, there's a stabbing now and then. That's it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, here in New Zealand, it's similar to that as well.
Yeah. So, I just wrote it. And then Vegas happened, and I didn't want to release it because then it seemed like I'd be exploiting the situation. But yeah, Vegas and shootings. Don't talk to me about it.
Okay, we won't, especially since you're in Vegas. Oh no, you're in Los Angeles. Sorry.
But I will be moving to Vegas as soon
really?
as I Yeah, well, I'm opening the Punk Rock Museum there.
Oh, tell me about that.
Pat Smear from the Germs. He invested with me. People from a lot of punk bands, Less and Jake, and Offspring. Well, everyone's getting in because I got a 12,000 square foot building I bought a few months ago.
Nice.
And I'm just getting stuff like we're doing 5 decades of punk.
Right.
And everyone I call just wants to be part of it. I mean, we got Darby's record collection. We got Johnny Thunder's first guitar.
Nice.
Sid's boots. We got just crazy cool shit and little things, like the dildo, Tesco V from the Meat Man used to have on stage. But a lot of new stuff too. It's really cool.
Very cool. Isn't what's left of CBGB's in Las Vegas somewhere as well? Didn't that?
Yeah, like the bathroom.
Yeah.
But this is different.
Well, speaking of vintage punk, you have a song called Doors and Fours, which the video has all sorts of vintage punk footage in it.
On doors and fours, we take our chance. White punks on dope, perfect romance. On doors and fours in '83, when we got loaded, taking loads, we'd all OD eventually.
So, is that stuff from your own collection, or did you get it from various places, or what?
A lot of it's from us in the early '80s,
right?
And a lot of it was Dave Markey. Dave Markey was in a band called Sin 34, and he also toured with Nirvana and filmed the year punk broke.
Right.
And I asked him to direct it and put in a bunch of old footage from LA. So yeah, that video means a lot to me. It's super cool.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of those folks aren't with us anymore.
Yeah, a lot of them aren't.
Man. Which also is kind of the topic of several of your songs as well. People passing on and not making it and ODing and whatever. Do you think it's a part of the scene that drugs and alcohol and overdosing and doing it more is part and parcel with punk rock and rock and roll in general? Does it have to be?
Oh, it doesn't have to be. It's just when your job is to go on stage for an hour and a half a night, 6 nights a week, what do? It's just like, we have the perfect job to be drug abusers.
Right.
You can't get in trouble. You can't get fired. All you gotta do is kind of keep it together for the show, and then all bets are off. So yeah, a lot of rock stars die, which doesn't seem very tragic. Usually when good actors die, like Keith Ledger, then it's like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Right.
But when it happens to someone in a punk band, it's just more of a, that's too bad.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's kind of sad. I mean, it's still sad. People are people, whether they're.
Yeah, but some people, there are a lot of very talented punk musicians, but the ones that really hit their stride and wrote great songs and really touched a lot of people, like Kurt Cobain or Tony Sly.
Right.
But 90% of the punk rockers who die are just, they're just people. It's just a shame when someone's a real artist.
Right. And how would you define
more of a shame?
Do you think there are real artists? Because I use in punk rock that people are not aware of? Because I mean, let's face it, everybody. The whole idea of punk is that anybody can do it. That was
right.
That what got everybody going. So,
and that's why we all started, because we could all figure out how to play a guitar or a bass.
Right.
But then, some people transcend the genre and just write great songs that touch everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really, it's about how much of your heart and your that you put on your sleeve. How truthful do you make your lyrics, and do you sing songs that that few people can relate to but really relate to, or songs that everybody can relate to and it doesn't really move them?
Right. So when you talk about people relating to your songs, do you get I assume you get a lot of feedback from people giving you that information, telling you that this really means a lot to me?
Yeah. Especially with my cross-dressing lately and how open I am about my sexuality. A lot of people tell me that I make them feel more comfortable about
right
that kind of thing. Because, the more people talk about it, like when, now being gay is totally normal,
right.
In high school.
Absolutely.
And all over the world, it's just, oh, you're gay? Cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that 25 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yep.
And, and I'm a kinkster. And the more I talk about stuff, the more okay it makes things.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I spoke to a musician. She's in Brooklyn this morning, and she's, classically trained, blah, 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 very different sounding than you, obviously. And the same subject came up. And I told her, I said, I'm going to be talking to a punk rocker later in the day who's got a song all about, gender fluid. And she was thrilled to pieces that that this is something that everybody's talking about, no matter what style of music anymore. So it's definitely a change.
Well, a lot of the thing, I was a human sexuality minor when I went to college in the 80s. And one of the things me and my girlfriend talk about a lot is happiness is really not that hard to find if you know how to ask the right questions to your partner, because like great sex is really what half the fucking world is looking for. They do things so they can make money, so they can have sex, or whatever. Half the things guys do, or everything guys do, is have sex. When they finally get the sex, they don't really know, they can't even ask for the sex they want. And that's what that's how I'm trying to help society, is being more open about sexuality. And, the whole place would be the world would be such a better place if guys could just get the guts to ask their women to fuck them in the ass with the strap on, really, because, things in your butt feel good.
Now, can you imagine, would you have made or written about this 30, 40 years ago?
Probably not. It took me a while, but I was writing kinky songs. I have been for quite a while, but I finally just came out completely when I was like 45 years old.
Right.
When I wore a dress and I went through Heathrow Airport, and I just felt free. Like, shit, I can do whatever I want. Why not?
Why not? Indeed. Well, obviously the tune that relates to that is "Fuck Euphemism," which also refers to a pronoun bar fight, which I just love the idea of that.
They say that I'm like cis queers, kinksters make a choice. They're wrong, but yet we choose which gag to take away our voice. I identify as a grain of salt, Peter Pan anarchist, or a poly rubber puppies, which rats left our masochists. So I said, fuck you, feminism.
Well, I'm around a lot of trans people, and a lot of them, especially the younger ones, get really offended when you don't use the right pronoun.
Right. Yes, I know.
And
I've run into that.
Yeah, my friend Ty, I don't always call them. Sometimes I call them by their old pronoun, which was him.
Yep.
And them just doesn't work very well.
Right.
When you say, "Oh, I love them. I slept with them last night," it makes you
plural.
sound like a slut. Yeah, it makes you sound like you're having sex with a lot of people, which is fine. But I'd rather just say per for person, which is what I say in the song. I slept with Per last night. Oh, I don't know if you slept with a man or a woman or a gender, non-specific gender, but there was only one of them.
Right.
So it's a better word. Per for person is a great pronoun that no one uses.
I'm sure. Now, I was talking about how bleak and serious some of these songs were, but there's also the other side. I love the video where you got Avenged Sevenfold to appear as you guys.
She knows that I do drugs. She knows that I'm kinky. But what keeps me up at night is that her friends know that I drink pee.
So you got to tell me how that happened.
Well, I've been friends with the singer for a long time. The singer, we played poker together on the Warped Tour, and then we started golfing together, and he's one of my best friends. So, and NOFX happens to be his favorite band.
That's amazing.
So I just, one day I was like, hey, you guys want to check out this song? Because they used to cover Linoleum. So I'm like, you want to play on the song? And they were stoked. And
yeah, I'm sure they would be. Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah, super fun.
And were you on the set when they were shooting it?
Oh yeah, we were all there.
Yeah. You have a good time?
Oh yeah, sure. It's just like they're really the only metal band. I mean, we're friends with some bands like Slipknot or Deftones, but I don't really hang out with them. We just know them.
Right.
Avenged Sevenfold are actually really cool dudes.
Oh, cool. That's good to know. Now, the last song on the album is a thing called Your Last Resort, and has some very nice piano and stuff, especially at the end. And I was wondering, is that being played by Karina? Is that her name?
Did you think that because I was so depraved, I needed to be saved? I'll never be well behaved, 'cause I'm told to.
No, that was actually played by one of my conspirators. His name is Baz.
Okay.
He conducted the Decline Orchestra.
Okay.
And we worked on a lot of stuff together. So, I write in guitar. He plays drums and piano and sax, and he's just one of those crazy jazz musicians. So he played it. Karina will be playing it live though.
Oh, very good. So have you done any live gigs lately, or are you kind of locked out of that?
Well, you can't do any here.
Right.
We did a live stream in July.
How would that go?
It's cool. I had like 50 people over my house. DJ Quick, he was here. And it was really fun. But yeah, it's just weird right now.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been on the road forever, I assume. I know. You've been to New Zealand a few times in the past couple of decades. So, I mean, what does it do to you when you have to slow down like this? And do you have to rethink about what you're doing with the rest of your life?
No. I pivot. I'm opening a punk museum.
Right. That's right.
I wrote a sitcom this year, which is getting picked up. My musical Home Street Home, which is supposed to open last July, it's getting turned into a series now. We're doing a big ass documentary. It's like I do tons of stuff.
Right. What's the documentary about? About the band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the producers and writers from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they're turning our book into an animated series.
Oh, cool.
So there's lots of shit going on. And I'm writing more songs now.
Well, like
So
you said,
it's
you
kinda nice
started
to
the
not
next
make
album
music.
already today, right?
Yeah. Being on tour, it's like it's hard not to party on tour.
Sure.
It's not that hard when I'm at home.
Yep. Well,
So I'm having a good time.
probably got to picked a good time to go sober then.
Yeah. And I lost 22 pounds in like 3 months.
Well, beer doesn't help the spelt thing. That's for sure.
You know what I do for dieting now? No shit. Before dinner, my girlfriend she puts a corset on me.
Oh,
And I mean, seriously, you
Yeah.
get full really fast.
I bet you do. You can feel it. Yeah.
Super cool. I mean, it's such a simple diet, you know?
Now, what are you eating there?
Coleslaw.
Coleslaw. Beautiful. Well, go for it. I like a good slaw. Excellent.
Oh yeah, cabbage has no calories.
Nope. I think you actually burn up more calories digesting it than eating it.
No, for sure. Definitely with all the farts that come out.
Just lay off the mayonnaise and you'll be good.
Yeah, it's got some kind of vinegar on it. I don't know.
That's cool. Yeah. So do you have gigs in the future? Any shows coming up?
We're supposed to play punk rock bowling in Vegas in September.
Okay. That's September. Jesus.
And
March.
I'm sure, I mean, the first place we'll probably come back is Australia and New Zealand.
Very good. That'd be
I don't know
cool.
about New Zealand. I don't know if what the quarantine thing is there now.
Well, right now, everything's kind of free. We're kind of COVID free for the most part, but you have to quarantine for 2 weeks if you come into the country, and you have to be. I think they're only letting.
We'll wait for the vaccine thing, because after everyone is vaccinated, they probably stop that.
The vaccines just arrived, and so we're starting that process because I mean they're desperate to get everybody to open up, and they need money and commerce and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, international bands will be back in no time. But we do have a good local scene. So yeah.
Australia, we'll probably hit Australia first.
Very well. We're right next door. So because you guys played like the Power Station, I think, and a couple other gigs. And
oh yeah, we played all over there. Christchurch, Wellington.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. And no deadly animals, no deadly insects. Love it.
Not in New Zealand. Nope. They got them all in Australia. All we have is the lowly kiwi bird.
I finally learned how to eat a kiwi correctly.
Oh, good.
You fucking eat the thing.
Oh,
you don't spoon it out. You just eat it.
Well,
who taught us that? Who taught us how to eat with a spoon like it's a fucking egg or something?
I don't know.
Crazy.
Yep, crazy. Well, thank you very much for taking time to talk to me. I really appreciate it. Like I said, the record's fantastic. Loving the record. You know, it's no wonder why it's suddenly doing whatever it's doing. And you know, people need this stuff. It's rock and roll.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why we're putting out another record in November.
Okay, we'll talk to you then.
Thanks, Marty. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.